Hey,
Hey, what's up? Hello.
hello.
You can hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we're good.
Perfect.
We're in. Did you see my Insta story today?
Um, I
I was
think so.
talking about
Yeah.
how in the beginning of the year we had like 40 people jumping in on the call, and I'm like, half of y'all aren't showing up now. What's going on?
Yeah, because the last one I think we had like 13 or something. So it is good to see some people staying consistent with it, but it's also good to see some faces that we maybe haven't seen in a while.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay,
so I did
awesome.
get a couple questions on Instagram. I think only 4 questions.
Awesome. Let's get started with it. I know that our intention is to have everything wrapped up within 30 minutes. So let's dive into those, and I'm sure people will have other questions. So you guys go ahead and drop them in the chat box. And I also have it on Facebook Live, so I'll be checking those questions as well. So let's start with the first question.
Did you get questions on your Insta story?
Yeah, you
Oh,
said I have two. You said you
okay.
have four?
Yeah. So this first one, at first she wrote, "How do you do the swipe up feature?" And I sent her a message, and I was like, what do you mean? How do you, or she didn't say a feature. She just said, how do you swipe up? And I was like, hey, I'm going to answer your question today, but I just want to make sure I understand. Like, you're just legitimately not sure how to swipe up. I don't really know how else to explain it better. And she was like, no, how do
So
I get that feature? I was like, oh, okay, that makes so much more sense. But you have to have 10,000 followers. And then you'll have an option on your screen it'll be like a little link icon, and then you'll click on that and be able to plug in the link that you want people to be able to swipe up for. So yeah, that's a feature with 10,000 followers.
yes.
Goals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I am working there myself.
Yeah, it takes time.
It sure does. Okay, I just realized that I went live on my business page,
Okay.
so which I don't want to do. So I'm
Good with that.
getting it going into the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Okay. What was your first year like in real estate? You go first.
Good question.
I
So
know.
yeah, no, that's a great one. So first year in real estate. So I started real estate in 2017. I had closed my first deal in October. I had one deal in October and one deal in December. So that was like, I call it my honeymoon year. So it was, just kind of getting things going with real estate, learning scripts, learning how to cold
All
call,
the
and
training.
yeah, going to all the training and everything. So that was that was my first few months. In 2018, I sold 33 units. And so the majority of those were through expired and for sale by owners. After that, I had my next source of business was internet leads, actually. So that is my first full year of real estate was closing 33 units. And again, that came from cold calling, scripts, and all of those things. Um, and that was full time. So I just saw a question come up. Did you guys start full time or part time? So I did start full time, just jumped right in and actually owe that to Nick because I was like, I can't do this. And he was like, you got it. Let's just do it. So that's exactly what I did was I just jumped in full time with real estate.
That's awesome. And you've been with Keller Williams the whole time, right?
The entire time, yeah. So the first 60 days, I was in an ISA position. And so the reason that I did that was I wanted to learn the business, be in the office, and learn cold calling and all of those things.
Yeah.
So I joined my team as an inside sales agent first, and then quickly learned the ropes of things and closed my first deal right after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good success story.
Yeah. Well, and so many people say to me, like if I'm looking to get into real estate and I want some sort of like pay just to get going in the business, there's a lot of opportunities like showing assistant, inside sales agents, admin, anything like that, runner, like a field specialist, like going
Yeah.
out and delivering signs or lockboxes. There's
What a
plenty
good
of opportunity should you need any sort of steady pay before you just decide to dive all in into commission base. There's plenty of opportunities. So get with your broker and see if there's any teams or any individuals that are looking for those people that need additional help.
yeah.
What about you? What did your first year of real estate
Oh,
look like?
yeah, so I got my license and I hung it with a different brokerage, and I was there for a couple months, and it was horrible. I went to the trainings and I'll never forget it. I was sitting there and I was looking at the other people who were in the class, and I was like, these are just like not like-minded people. And I remember leaving the training and going out to the parking lot talking to my friend, and I was like, what did you think? Because I got him to come and he wasn't even licensed. And I was like, I feel like I didn't even learn anything. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just me. And I was like, dang. And like everybody in that office, I would walk in there and they'd be like, oh, are you looking to buy a house? And I'm like, no, I work here, Carol. I just met you last week. And and then the broker was so inappropriate. And I was like, dang, real estate is not for me. This is not what I thought it was going to be. And I was in a really uncomfortable situation with that broker. So I really was like, I just want to hang my license somewhere else. And this mega agent here in Jacksonville, it was with the brokerage that I'm with now. And I met with the brokers, and like I didn't really care about the brokerage or the commission cut or anything. I was like, I just need to hang this license somewhere else, and I think it'd be cool to like try somewhere else their trainings. And so I got with Exit Real Estate Gallery, started going to their trainings, and I started meeting like-minded people and making a lot of friends, and it made it more fun and exciting again. And I actually had a really interesting opportunity. It's a long story, but long story short, basically I ended up getting with this rental company. So I started listing rental properties that were not on the MLS. This company had owned they still own about like 700 homes in Jacksonville. And they had a team of agents who were licensed with their brokerage that were renting out these homes. And I ended up getting on the phone with him. He accidentally picked up, and he basically offered me this opportunity to list these rentals and where I'd be able to get paid every 2 weeks. And I was like, where's your office? I need to come in and meet with you now. So I still got to stay with Exit, work this rental thing, and learn like showing properties. Like I got to learn what it was like to like set up a bunch of properties and show customers. And still all the while that whole year I was going to trainings because that was the ultimate goal, was to do residential. But my first year I didn't. I was with Exit, but I was getting paid every 2 weeks from this rental company. And then after the year, ironically, they came to me and they wanted me to leave Exit and work for them. And it was about $50,000 a year they were offering with benefits. And at the time, so this was me 4 years ago. And that was good money to me. And I was like, you know what? I really feel like I should try to do residential sales. And I think I could make more money than that. Woo-wee, I am so glad I did that.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I've never looked back.
Yeah. Oh no, that's awesome. I love hearing that.
I'm so grateful for that opportunity, man. I learned so much, and to be able to get into real estate and get paid every 2 weeks, and because I was making more than their salespeople was basically what was happening and why I had to leave Exit if I wanted to work with them. And I was like, I don't think so. So it was an awesome opportunity. So it was so different than everyone else's. We all have a different story. And so that was my first year.
That's awesome. I love that. That's pretty cool. I guess I didn't realize that you hung your license somewhere different than Exit in the beginning.
Yeah. couple months, and yeah. So that's why also I feel very grateful for Exit. I'm like, gosh, they like really helped me build this business, and I'm so glad I didn't give up and I tried somewhere else. And sometimes you do need to switch and be around more like-minded people, and it just really worked for me.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Okay, good deal.
When in your business did you decide to hire a transaction coordinator? I don't have one.
So being on a team, I obviously have a transaction coordinator since day one. And I will tell you that that has allowed me to leverage a lot of my business. And that's why I feel I was able to close 33 units in year one and 58 units year two. And, you know, moving into this year with a goal of 100, I feel that I wouldn't have been able to do any of that or achieve any of my goals without the amazing support systems that I have in place, which is a transaction coordinator, an admin. We have a field specialist who's a runner. So yes, I do not do a lot of those items. And our transaction coordinators are on top of their game. You know, while I still work with the client throughout the entire transaction, it's, you know, them helping me stay on top of deadlines. And if I need an amendment put together, they're able to, you know, just within a minute, you know, I'm able to either voice it over through a text message or through an email. And, you know, within seconds, they have it sent over to my clients and it's executed immediately.
Yeah.
So I do have a transaction coordinator and have had one since day one, again, because I am on a team.
I had one once that I tried out for a couple months, and then there was like 1 month that I paid her $2,500, and I had been feeling, and I was like, I was having to do a lot of the work, and I ended up letting her go, I guess you could say, and now I'm just doing it myself, which I am the worst. Our admin who checks all my paperwork, she hates me, and I don't get paid till like weeks after closing because I can't get things turned in on time. But I need to find somebody good, because if I'm so OCD too, and I'm just like, things that I need done right away, I need them signed. Like if things are done in a timely manner, I can get that done, obviously, because I have no choice, right? Like the contract and repair requests and certain things like that. But like getting it turned into the brokerage in order to get paid is like a struggle.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I totally, I give you props because there's no way I could do that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it takes me a couple weeks after closing.
I saw a message that came through on Facebook that says, how many closings do you do a year? So we went over that just a minute ago, but if it was missed, year one, 33, for me, year two, 58, and this year 3, my goal is to close 100 units.
Oh, 100? Yes.
Setting big goals.
Oh my gosh. I would need like 5 of me.
Well,
then I wouldn't get paid until like 2022.
That's how you get your people in place, right? That's why you set yourself up with successful, you know, people that complement you. So admin, transaction coordinators, specialists, runners, you know.
I know. Even today, I had 2 these listings. I didn't think I was going to be listing yet, and 2 of them today, they called me and they're like, "Hey, we're ready to list right now." And I was like, "Okay, let me get all this paperwork ready for you first."
Yeah. Yeah. No, I couldn't do that. So, I mean, I could, but I try to focus on those things that bring me joy, like
and income producing activities.
And income producing activities, and getting that paperwork and folders put all nice and pretty. I could not do that without my amazing support staff on our team.
Yeah.
All right. How do you keep your positive vibe and motivation? As I'm starting, it can be so hard to keep myself up and high and keep myself busy. That's a great question. I actually love that.
That. We're like, we love that question.
I know. Bring it on. Let's talk about mindset all day. You and I sit here and have mindset conversations, like not even intentionally, but so how do you keep yourself positive and motivated? So I have my goals consistently in front of me all day, every day. I have them at my desk. I have them on a Google sheet. Stevie, you know I love my Google Drive. I keep that tab open at all times so that I can consistently look and reflect on, what are my big goals? What's my business plan? And that right there is big motivation for me. Also podcasts. I love listening to podcasts. Sometimes they're business related and sometimes they're just good feeling, funny, just girl boss stuff that has nothing to do with real estate, but it's just like, hell yeah, sister, like I see what you're doing and I do that too. Or like, I feel that as well, just like other ways other than real estate and other than, because let's be honest, real estate really, I feel like I am not even intentionally, but I am on the clock at all times. I'm not meaning to, but if we're just sitting at home, I'm scrolling through YouTube, looking at what other successful agents are doing, or I'm figuring out, what's the best next thing that I can provide to my clients, whatever it is. It's just that does bring me joy, and also reading. So those are just a few things that I stay positive and motivated.
Yeah, I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago on a mastermind call. And like a lot of those things that I had mentioned are really what have helped me stay positive. And you just touch base on a lot of them. And I think having goals in front of you is what is so helpful to stay motivated, because we all mentally say like, oh, this is my goal for the year. And it's like to see it broken down in front of you every single day has been really beneficial. And with keeping a positive vibe, I think about what I used to do before I got into real estate, I mean, I'm like, God, I would never want to do that again. And I do enjoy this job so much, and it is really rewarding. And just thinking about those points, and because things get stressful, and I think also surrounding yourself by people who are doing what you're doing, who are successful, that are like-minded people, are so helpful to keeping a positive vibe, who are just always happy, that aren't complainers, that aren't negative. And even when things do arise, because you are going to get stressed out and you are going to have low points, that you are able to call those people to be like, hey, this is what's going on with me.
Yeah.
What do you think? And for them to be able to lift you up and provide some insight, it's been so helpful for me in my business. I can't imagine if I didn't have like this group of people around me to be able to share what's going on in real estate.
Definitely. Well, and think about, just last week we were at a training together. And like, I don't know about you, but when I got home, I was fired up. I was, especially when the last day there was a group of 5 girls that are just crushing it in their business. And that was super inspiring to me. And so, that along with meeting other people, networking, the Young Professionals program within Keller Williams is incredible. And I was able to talk with so many agents that are my age, our age, that are doing this and that, like up in Washington and California and New York. And it's like, wow, like we live different places. We have a totally different business. And yet when we come together and just lift each other up and just talk about our business and what's going on in it, that just like fires me up inside. And I get back home and I'm like, oh my God, I have like 101 things that I took away from this 3-day event, but I'm going to go ahead and implement these.
Yeah.
And so I think it starts with inside, but I also think that it's 100% true where surrounding yourself with individuals, like the community that we formed, you and I have this conversation almost every day. And it's like, I love that we connected and that we brought other agents in, and like just different things. It really does make a difference in your attitude and your positivity.
Yeah, it really does. Throughout the day, like every single day, I'm always doing my Insta stories, as everyone knows. And people are constantly cheering me on that I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, it's crazy. And that helps me stay motivated and have a positive attitude. And I try to do that back for people. So that's really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't even touch on that and couldn't agree with you more on that one.
How do you get over the fear of videoing? You just got to do it.
You just got to do it. It doesn't matter if you're having a bad hair day or you
They don't care. Do y'all
yeah,
care?
it doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is you being your authentic self and providing value, whoever it's to, if it's to agents, buyers, sellers, mortgage lenders, just trying to build your business up with, other businesses that can help you bring in leads. Whoever it is, it's just figure out who your target audience is and just talk to them and provide value and content for them. All of this doesn't matter. I hate listening to myself, and I say, you just got to get over it. Just do it.
Yeah. And I totally get it. I understand completely the struggle with video. It took my friend, Greg McDaniel, he's a real estate agent out in Walnut Creek, California. It took him a year to embed in my brain to do videos. And he told me, like I would be so good at it and that my business was going to boom after I did it. And I was so envious of him. He would show up and do live calls. He still does every single day. He does live calls, cold calls. And I was like so envious of that. I'm just now videoing myself doing calls. Like it's taken that long. But after the year, I was finally like, okay, I'm going to do these videos. My business has boomed. It's absolutely insane. And I will tell you what, my videos in the beginning absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
They're so bad. I just saw another one the other day that I'm pretty sure I never posted. It was in my first listing. Oh my God, I've got to share it because it's cringe worthy. It was so funny. It's crazy. I have short brown hair. I hadn't had Invisalign yet. And I sounded so I was like, hi, I'm Stevie Hahn with Exit Real Estate Gallery, and I'm in my listing in Ponte Vedra. I had like this super soft spoken voice, and I was like, why was I talking like that? Like it was so bad. But it's so funny to look back, but you don't get better unless you go through that process. I don't think people just show up on video and they're like extremely charismatic, it took me time, and it took me time to go through that whole process to actually build up the confidence, I feel like. And I needed to struggle, and my first Facebook Live video was so bad. This was years ago, and I had a selfie stick doing a Facebook Live. I don't know why I was in the backyard because it was so windy. My hair was blowing around like crazy. I was like, why didn't I go inside? It was so clearly so windy out, and my hair is crazy. And I couldn't read, when it pops up on Facebook, as you're doing a live, people's names and they're commenting, I would pull the selfie stick closer to me, and I was like, hey, Carol. Like, it was so bad. And so I'm sure anybody would do better than that. And that's how I started.
That's great. Yeah.
Every day.
I totally agree. I don't really remember any of my first videos, but I just know, just like anything, dive into it and you'll get better
Just like doing cold calls. You don't just call somebody the first time and you're like, oh, I know all the objections. I know how to be super confident right now.
Nailed it.
Oh, you did?
No, I'm saying, you never like make that first cold call where you're like, nailed it. It's always like I don't know about you guys, but I probably hung up on my first call. Like somebody was like, hello. And I'm like, oh, click.
And I feel like even today I made a bunch of calls, and I haven't made calls in like 2 weeks. And I feel like it takes a second to get used to, like I had to like get into a couple calls. So like the first couple calls, like I really wasn't feeling super good about it. But then it was like, once I got going, things got it better. I was feeling more confident. And yeah, sometimes you just got to go through the process.
Yeah, for sure. So since we're still on the topic of videos, let's answer this one real quick before I move to Facebook. Do y'all use anything special to record videos, make them more still, whether that's videoing yourself or listings you've gone into? So when it comes to recording, I just use my phone, my new iPhone. I just use my phone. I do have a circle light, and then my phone just goes right there in the middle. Now, I do have a webcam that I can hook on the top of my laptop along with a microphone. Should I want to do that, I definitely could. But I'll be honest with you, when you are creating a video and just doing this and walking through something, or whether it's downtown of your hometown or doing a tour throughout, I mean, people just like being there with you. Like they like that connection with you. I don't think that unless it's something like very professional, luxury listing or something that you need a professional to go through. I think just simply holding your phone and recording yourself or recording the walkthrough of a property, I think that in itself, I don't think that it has to be perfect. I think the fact that you're doing it, they're going to relate to you with doing it. And they're not going to even notice that you're not using professional gear or equipment.
There's this guy in Jacksonville who has a team, top producing agent, and I remember him because when I first got into real estate, he did a ton of YouTube videos. And for some reason, I just thought of him today, and I was like, I'm going to look this guy up. And so I did, and he's still consistently posting on YouTube, and I was watching his videos today, and I was so envious of his videos years ago, and I was looking at them today, and I was like, oh, he's just going like this through the house. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we can all do that too. Tomorrow, so I do all my videos on my phone, nothing fancy. And tomorrow I am doing a day in the life of the realtor, recording it, and then I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel. But I have a gimbal, so I do like that. I know I'm going to use that tomorrow. So I have used that, like shooting video throughout the house. And basically it's a stabilizer. So like as it goes through, it just looks like so nice and professional.
Oh yeah. Is that thing that like follows like your face or whatever? Oh, cool. I saw a girl doing that. She attended my broker open. She's like, can I do a video? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, whoa, what's that? That thing is super cool. And I think it was that exact same thing. It would just smoothly do the motions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I don't think you need anything fancy though.
Yeah. Okay. I saw one on Facebook. If you are not working with any customers, you have worked Boomtown, what would be a good thing to do for prospecting? Okay. So saying like you've gone through, you don't have any active clients, you've gone through your Boomtown and you've called or text or sent a video to them all today. What would be the next thing that you would start doing to get immediate clients?
Do an open house. It doesn't have to be on a weekend.
Yep.
There's events in Jacksonville, and I'm sure they are like that everywhere. There's events going on every single day that you can just go to Facebook events and find local events that are going on in your area and pop in on those. My event that I hosted a couple weeks ago, people had popped in. They were like, yeah, we just saw this on Facebook. They didn't know who I was. I didn't know who they were. So people are doing it, and they came to network, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that is super cool. I love that. There's always opportunity to door knock. Go door knock and just say, hey, my name's Amanda Knight. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty. I actually live in the neighborhood. And you know what? I saw that the market has increased in value by 15% since last year. Have you thought about selling your home? Do you know anybody that's looking to move to the area? Who do you know that I can help this year? I have big 2020 goals. Also reaching out to your sphere. So whether it's calling or texting every single person in your phone book in your phone, or posting on Facebook private messaging them. That's always an option too. What else? Expireds, hosting an open house, going to local businesses. You know, when I did my Bold 100, I walked up and down Main Street in downtown Mansfield, and I visit all of them. And I just said, I'm also a local business owner here in downtown Mansfield. I love to help your business grow. What's your ideal client look like? How can I help you? What can I do to earn your business and referrals?
Mm-hmm.
So there's plenty of different opportunities. You've just got to think outside the box. And when you come from contribution at all times and you come off authentic and just, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help your business? You're gonna win their business, or at least they're gonna think of you when it comes to real estate.
Yeah.
And
I've always
what's that?
Oh, I've always been all about social media. So
Yeah.
when I didn't have business, I was messaging people on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, engaging in conversation, people that were relatable to me, and then also just being like, hey, do you want to grab coffee together, and just building that friendship and that relationship with them, because they might not be interested in wanting to buy or sell, but they probably know somebody, and that's such a great idea, especially if you don't know anyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How did you decide that you were going to target expired listings?
So I started my business with for sale by owners. So many of you know that I'm not from here, so I didn't have a big sphere. Started with for sale by owners and would cold call them, would text them, would door knock them, and had listings and buyers come from for sale by owners. And then I decided, you know what, let me go ahead and tackle expired listings. It was actually the 4th week of the Bold program. So if you're a Keller Williams agent, you have probably been through the 8-week program of Bold. In week 4, they go over expireds. Well, at least the old Bold program did. And I said, wow, that seems like a area that I could totally dominate in. And that class was on Thursday mornings. I had 2 appointments that weekend and ended up taking those appointments that I went on, who were both buy sell. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to stay really focused on expired listings, and I will look at for sale by owners, just kind of sprinkle them in here and there. But that's what I built my business off of. And I can tell you that the first year when I had 33 closings, a third of those came from expired listings. And so it's all in the follow-up. So consistently staying on top of them, they will eventually list their home. Just because they say that they have another agent doesn't mean that they're going to always list with that agent. Stay in front of them, ask them questions, come from contribution, and you'll list them all day.
You'll list them all day. I love it.
Do you ever make calls on Sunday? If so, what do you think? What time? So yes, and I will be making calls this Sunday. You know why? It's going to be March 1st, and there's probably going to be about 600 expired listings out there. So yes, I think 9 a.m. is totally acceptable on a Sunday.
You go, girl.
I got to get my 100 closings this year. I got to start.
Yeah, so better start calling on Sundays.
That's right. All right. I think that's it. I think we've answered everything.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, this was really fun. Be sure to, if you did snap a photo of us, make sure that we're smiling, AKA this is your moment.
So some of them have been so freaking funny, right?
Hilarious. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Carol, you thought that was cute? You thought to seriously tag me in that?
As long as it's a good photo, then tag us.
Okay.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk with you next week.
All right, bye.
Bye.